Good afternoon. I've come here today to do what the Republicans in Congress refuse to do, take the necessary steps to secure our border. 4 months ago, after weeks of intense negotiation between my staff and Democrats and Republicans, we came to a clear bipartisan deal. It was the strongest border security agreement in decades. But then, Republicans in Congress, not all, but walked away from it. Why? Because Donald Trump told them to. He told the Republicans, it has been published widely by many of you, that he didn't want to fix the issue. He wanted to use it to attack me. That's what he wanted to do. It was a cynical and an extremely cynical political move, and a complete disservice to the American people who are looking for us to not to weaponize the border, but to fix it. Today, I'm joined by a bipartisan group of governors, members of Congress, mayors, law enforcement officials, most of whom live and work along the southern border. They know the border is not a political issue to be weaponized. The responsibility we have to share, to do something about it. They don't have time for the games played in Washington, and neither do the American people. So today, I'm moving past Republican obstruction and using the executive authorities available to me as president to do what I can on my own to address the border. Frankly, I would have preferred to address this issue through bipartisan legislation, because that's the only way to actually get the kind of system we have now that's broken, fixed, to hire more Border Patrol agents, more asylum officers, more judges. But Republicans have left me no choice. Today, I'm announcing actions to bar migrants who cross our southern border unlawfully from receiving asylum.
All right, that's enough of that. So as you guys just saw there, Biden has announced that he's taking executive action, strong action, to close the border. Well, I've got something to say about that, and I've got some clips to back it up. I have to sneeze. Goodness gracious. You ever have to sneeze and it like won't come out? That's like where I'm at right now. Like I can feel it right there, but it just ain't coming out. Anyway, I got some clips I want to show you guys. So like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you are new. And let's dive in.
Based on the details of this executive order and how it actually functions that we've learned so far today, I actually have to say I'm quite skeptical that this is going to have any kind of immediate, widespread, dramatic impact on the border, on the number of migrants who are crossing the border, and on the number of migrants who manage to stay in the United States as a result. And there's a few complicated reasons for that. But the main one is that I and a lot of other people were expecting that this authority to, quote unquote, close down the border was going to be dependent on the United States being able to summarily expel migrants with no due process, no access to the asylum system, immediately back into Mexico shortly after they cross. That does not appear to be the case, mainly because Mexico has not agreed to accept any more migrants than it already does. Mexico has pretty strict, specific requirements on the number of migrants that it accepts and on the nationality of migrants that it accepts. And the U.S. cannot simply return people to Mexico without Mexico's active participation.
Yeah. And that wasn't from right-wing media. That was from NBC. Okay, telling you this executive order isn't going to do anything. First off, he doesn't have any type of deal with Mexico. Mexico just got a new president. He has not met with her, hasn't spoken to her, which there's a lot of interesting things surrounding the new Mexican president, which I may make a video on that as well. It will make your jaw drop. But anyway, there's no deal with Mexico. Zero. So this whole, oh yeah, we're going to close the border, we're going to send them back. No, you're not. You can't. But if you don't believe NBC, here's MSNBC. Check it out.
And Katie, a lot of this is actually trying to actually seem like he is doing something. And in focus groups that I've been able to listen to from undecided voters, they often end up pointing to some of the inaction that is coming on the border from the president as one of the demerits against him. And Monica ended up mentioning that this seems to be trying to shore up a political vulnerability. And Katie, in our own polling, in our April 2024 NBC News poll, just 28% of American voters ended up approving of the job the president was doing on immigration. In a poll that we had a year ago in 2023, our poll had Republicans with an 18-point advantage over Democrats on what party better handles immigration. That was the highest lead that Republicans have ever enjoyed on that, and the worst deficit the Democrats have ever had.
Yeah. So MSNBC even said, this is just for show. This isn't going to do much of anything. But like he was saying there, the polls are exactly why Joe Biden is trying to do this. He sees, and Democrat politicians see, the same thing that we see. This is why they're trying to put on this little, we're going to get strong on the border 5 months before an election. You've been president for 3.5 years, and now all of a sudden you want to use executive action, which I'm going to get into that later on. He knew he could have done this 3.5 years ago, but check this out.
Border security will help him with his reelection chances. And how does that play? CNN's Harry Enton has been looking at the numbers. How important, remind folks how important this issue is for voters.
It's tremendously important. What a difference from where we were 4 years ago at this point. So immigration is the nation's top problem. Back in May of 2020, it was just 1% of voters who said that. It ranked 15th on the list of most important problems in the United States. Look at where we are today, May of 2024, the last poll conducted by Gallup. It's up to 18%, so that's 18 times as high. And more than that, it ranks as the second most important problem. So we've gone from 15th to second. So to me, it's not a huge surprise that President Biden is doing what he's doing, because the fact is immigration is at the top of the mind for the American voter.
And sometimes my next question depends on how the question is asked, but who do people trust? Who do voters trust more on this issue?
Yeah, no matter how you phrase it, you will see that more voters today trust former President Trump over President Biden, but the margins can change depending on how it is. So this is a better job on border security and immigration, which tends to be one of former President Trump's best questions. But I think the key thing here, Kate, to look at is the timeline and look at the trend line here. Because back in June of 2020, Biden was actually trusted more on the question of border security and immigration by a single point. Look at where we are in May of 2024. My goodness gracious. Look at this huge jump that Donald Trump has gotten. He is now ahead on this issue by 27 percentage points. So it's not just that immigration is more at the top of voters' minds than it was 4 years ago. It's that who they trust on the issue has changed tremendously. I look at a lot of questions. I dig into the crosstabs a lot. The fact that you see a 30-point shift, I'm used to seeing 10, 15, maybe 20-point shifts. But basically a 30-point shift, 28 points if you want to be exact, that is very, very different from a lot of other polling questions.
Yep. And the reason why the border issue wasn't, a leading issue back in 2020 was because the border was closed. It was ranked 15th because the border was not an issue. And Joe Biden admitted to it. We have him on camera saying that Trump had the border closed. He was not giving amnesty to anyone. He wasn't allowing people to come in. And Joe Biden went on TV and said, we're going to get rid of all of this. We're going to get rid of all of Trump's border policies, which Trump used executive action to close the border. The same thing Joe Biden now seems to magically do 5 months before an election, right? To try to bolster his poll numbers, which I don't think it's going to work. And I have some evidence as to that as well. But check this out. These are Joe Biden's words.
First of all, every executive order this president has issued relating to the border and relating to dealing with the Hispanic community is going to be pulled back. We're not going to be fooling with that.
Won't that restart a brand new border crisis? I mean, what would you do with all those people in camps now waiting in Mexico?
It will if we don't do it well.
Those asylum seekers that are on the other side of the border now in camps.
You just heard him say, the gentleman asked, would that start up a border crisis? And Joe Biden, his own words, you just watched it, said it will if we don't do it right. His words! He admitted that this is all his fault, but he blames Republicans. Even though there's a bill, H.R. 2, that Republicans in the House sent to the Senate over a year ago. over a year ago. But Chuck Schumer didn't want to take it up for a vote. So it's just been sitting on his desk. But nobody talks about that. They just talk about the bill that the Democrats loved, right? I don't care if Democrats didn't like HR 2, right? Don't care if they hated it. At least take it up for a vote. But no, Chuck Schumer wouldn't do that. So the Republican passed bill, HR 2, that closed the border, that actually closed the border, was passed in the House, sent to the Senate, to Democrat Senate leader Chuck Schumer, and now it's just sitting on his desk collecting dust. And they just don't mention it at all, which is a strategic move, right? Democrats want to be able to blame Republicans, but people like me are going to call them out on the BS because I know the truth. I know that bill was passed. I know it was already sent to Chuck Schumer over a year ago, right? And I know that Chuck Schumer won't take it up for a vote.
Going to be allowed to come and do their claims inside the United States, something that has not been afforded.
It's the first time ever you've had to seek asylum in a third country. It's outrageous. It's outrageous.
Outrageous that Trump made people wait in other countries before they were allowed in. That's outrageous. And not only did Biden brag about getting rid of Trump's border policies, but Alejandro Mayorkas did the same thing.
We have rescinded so many Trump immigration policies. It would take so much time to list them.
Their words, not mine. They just told you. We got rid of all of Trump's border policies. And then what happened immediately after? Wide open border, people flooding in, all types of crime going on, right? And not to mention, I thought Biden said he couldn't do anymore. Y'all remember he said that? Which was a lie, of course. He just didn't want to fix the border issue, and he doesn't want to now. You just heard MSNBC and NBC say that this virtually does nothing, okay? This is just for show. This is just to try to bolster his poll numbers right before an election. But here's Joe Biden saying, I did all I can do already. Now, this was a while ago. This was 126 days ago. Check this clip out.
With executive authority, or is there more you could do? Absent
Done all I can do. Give me the power. I've asked for the very day I got in office. Give me the border patrol. Give me the people, the judges. Give me the people who can stop this and make it work.
I know that was a little hard to hear because of the helicopter in the background and whatnot, but he was asked, is there more you could do through executive action to close the border? And he said, I've done all I can do. I've done everything that I can do. He knew that was a lie. He literally got rid of Trump's executive orders that closed the border. He knew that was a lie. You know, like just these guys, man, it's an absolute shame. And not only that, but on top of that, this whole time, over these past 3.5 years, when people have been trying to call them out on the border being wide open, they've just been telling us, oh, well, the border's secure. The border's closed. The border's closed. You don't believe me? Because I know some people probably, oh, Rich, you're lying. That's a right-wing conspiracy theory. They weren't saying the border was secure. Well, y'all know I always come with clips, baby. I don't just be out here just talking. I don't just be yip-yapping and jaw-jacking. I got the footage to prove it. Exhibit A.
It is my testimony that the border is secure.
The president have worked very hard to implement a strategy when it comes to the border that is humane, safe, and has orderly enforcement.
Things are going at the border, sir.
Much better than you all expected.
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
We have responded with a model approach that has proven to work.
We have taken unprecedented action over the past 1.5 years to secure our border.
And we have a process in place to manage migrants at the border. We're working to make sure it's safe and orderly and humane.
The border is closed.
We agree that the border is secure.
We're executing a comprehensive strategy to secure our borders.
One of our highest priorities is to ensure that we have a secure border, and that is what we are doing.
We are stopping the flow at the border.
The border is secure.
I told you. I wasn't lying. As always, I keep the clips, baby. I keep the footage. That's the great thing about the internet, right? We can always pull up the tapes, baby. We can always pull up the tapes. And I'll leave you guys with this. The great thing about this is that it is not going to work. The people of America are smarter than that. And of course, as I told you guys, I have a little bit of evidence to prove it. Check this out. So this is Instagram. This is CNN's official account. As you can see there, 19.9 million followers, 16,000 posts. This is CNN's official account. So they posted this. President Biden announces executive action on immigration. Now, I just want you guys to take note of the comment section here. And as you can see, I liked a couple of them. First comment says, didn't have any power until an election year. Laughing emoji. 15 million people later. He doesn't care about the country. He's worried about poll numbers. Next comment. Using Trump's policies, I see. Next comment. Now you want to secure the border. Clown. 15 million illegals later. Where does this man stand? He keeps flip-flopping. He keeps flipping side like a leaf in the wind. Goodness gracious, I can't read. Biden will win 24. There's the first positive comment on under a CNN post, right? Under a CNN post. Oh, goodness. Immediately after Trump 2024. Millions upon millions of illegals later, Biden finally woke up. Damage has been done. You're way too late. 4 years late. 8 million later, he woke up. That moment when conservatives lose their talking point, so they claim he's just doing it because it's an election year, which he is. And there's two positive comments, and then right after that, Trump 2024. That's actually pretty funny. After the two positive comments, there's a Trump 2024 immediately after. So 2 positive comments out of, I don't know, guys, what do you think? 15 that actually called him out. And this is on CNN's Instagram account. CNN. This isn't, some right-wing, person, some right-wing media personality. This isn't under like one of my posts or, Charlie Kirk or Ben Shapiro or Larry Elder. Or, this is CNN. This ain't Fox. So I do think that is noteworthy. And I'm loving watching people realize that this is a sham. This is bogus. He could have done this 3.5 years ago. And now he chooses to, simply because it's an election year and his poll numbers are absolutely terrible. Nah, we're not buying that BS. I'm not buying it. And as you guys saw, most of America ain't buying it either. Okay. And that is a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. We will not let him slide by with this one. But as always, y'all let me know your thoughts, your opinions on this in the comment section below. Hit that like button. All right. Help this video get out to more and more people. Share this video. It's the arrow button down below. You can copy the link and send it to anybody and everybody. You can send it via DM. You can send it via text message. You can post it to your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram. Post it everywhere. Everybody needs to see this. This is a load of crap. Load of crap. Actually, it's really a slap in the face. Like, you were telling us that you did all you could do. There was nothing more you could do. And the border was secure. And now all of a sudden, 5 months before an election, now you want to try to do something? And even that something really ain't a whole lot. NBC and MSNBC confirmed that. Come on now. Stop it with the nonsense. But anyway, peace and love. I'm out.